People who lost thousands of dollars. Where'd it go? I paid my ex-boyfriend $20,000 to never speak to me again. When I met my now ex-boyfriend a year ago, I should have noticed that the first thing he said to me was a humongous red flag. He said, "You look like you know how to have a good time." I think hearing that at the time meant a lot to me because before then, I was a pretty introverted person in college and was having trouble making friends. When I asked him what he meant by that, he didn't say anything. He just told me to roll with him and his friends to a party. That night was the night that changed everything forever. I met my best friends at that party, my new sorority, and who I thought was the love of my life. After that party, I spent every breathing moment with my new boyfriend. I slept at his place, did work with him, partied with him, and I was jumping his bones every chance I could get. The best part was, he told me that he loved me and that I would never have to work for anything in my life again. He grew up in a really rich family and had more than enough money to take care of the both of us. So I foolishly agreed and started my new life with him. He bought us an RV, and I dropped out of school. We lived all over the country in our RV, doing substances and having the time of our lives. But eventually, the fun was over. I was at a point where I felt like I needed agency in my life, where I wanted to have a career of my own and be with the person I love. I enrolled myself back in school and finished my degree in only 2 semesters. Shortly after, I got myself a job and finally an income of my own. I was proud of myself for having come so far, but my boyfriend wasn't so much. Every night I would come home and he and whatever buddies he had at the time were either doing lines on our kitchen table or drinking. I tried to look past the fact that he was comfortable with his lifestyle, but there were times where he would get physical with me. When he did, he threatened to make me pay back every dollar he spent on me. I didn't even want to think about how much I owed him, so I would just cry and apologize to him. Eventually, I knew I wasn't happy with him and I needed to get out of there. I started seeing a therapist behind his back and told her about my situation. She told me that he keeps me in a financial bondage and most likely envies me for having found a purpose while he doesn't have one. That was a total eye-opener for me. I made a life for myself while he'll probably spend the rest of his life living from mommy and daddy's money. The truth is, I didn't even owe him a cent because it wasn't him. One day, I saw him drunk on the floor and decided to take advantage of this and packed my stuff to go. While I was packing, he woke up, threw up on me, and then got angry when he realized what I was doing. I told him I was done with him and that I was leaving. Then he started preaching that I was ungrateful to him, that I was a nobody when he first met me, and that I owed him so much money. So I filled out a check for $20,000, all the money in my savings account, except I wrote down the name nobody. I told him if he needed the money there it was, back to its rightful owner.